Hi, story recap here. This is the story of Chronicles of Narnia. The movies start with a World War II scene. A lady is shown escaping her kids from the war. They were picking their father's picture. It is discovered their father was fighting with the soldiers in the war. The lady sends her children on the train to the other city to get them out of the war zone. A lady picks them and takes them to her home. As they reach there, she lives there with a professor. She says while making them understand the rule that they will not tease the professor. They will not touch any artifact of the house. She drops them to their rooms while telling them this. The next day, everyone was getting bored in the rooms. Meanwhile, their younger sister named Lucy convinces everyone to play hide and seek. They go to hide when their elder brother starts counting. Lucy comes into a room while searching for a place to hide. She finds a covered wardrobe there. She goes inside the wardrobe to hide. As she moves behind, she appears into a forest. There was heavy snow falling. Lucy moves forward while being happy. She notices a lamp post and goes near it. Meanwhile, she sees a creature. It appeared as half goat and half human. Its name was Tumnus. Tumnus gets scared while seeing Lucy. Lucy come near and tells it how did she come here. It understands. She is a human. It tells Lucy she is in Narnia and takes her to its home for tea. It tells her there is winter in Narnia for the past 100 years. It plays music while talking. Fire starts dancing on it and Lucy sleeps while seeing it. She awakes and finds Tumnus sitting aside and weeping. When Lucy asks, it tells a white witch's rules in Narnia. She has brought winter to the forest, and her rule is if any humans will appear in Narnia, she or he should be taken to her. Because of it, I have to do all this. But it takes Lucy to lamp post immediately as she call it her friend. It asks her to go back to her house from there. Lucy gives it her handkerchief while living from there. Lucy returns home while leaving Narnia and appearing from the wardrobe. The time stopped there and Lucy became astonished at it. She told her siblings about Narnia and Tumnus. There was nothing when they checked the wardrobe. They consider Lucy as lying. They don't believe it. Lucy thinks about it the whole day. Lucy again goes to the wardrobe when everyone sleeps at night. Her brother Edmund also comes behind her. He also moves into Narnia while hiding behind her. He was calling Lucy's name while going near lamp post. Meanwhile, the White Witch arrives while sitting on Rye. Getting scared of her, Edmund tells her everything that he has 3 siblings. He also tells her about Tumnus. Hearing this, the White Witch makes him sit with her and gives him delight. She says she has no kids. That's why she wants to meet his other siblings. She asks him to bring them to Narnia to her castle. She tells him he can be the king as her son. After making him understand all this, she leaves. Lucy arrives. AMD says her brother Edmund, before the White Witch discovers about us we should leave. Edmund gets scared after hearing Lucy. Lucy was happy when they returned home from wardrobe. She tells her other siblings Peter and Susan about this, that she was telling the truth, and Edmund also went there. Lucy goes out of the room while weeping. Peter and Susan also move behind her. As Lucy comes out, she collapses with the professor. The professor gives Lucy to that lady and takes Peter and Susan into his office. They tell the professor the story of Narnia about Lucy. Hearing all this, the professor says maybe Lucy is telling the truth. He makes them understand not everything is logical. The next day, the siblings were playing cricket and Lucy was sitting near them. Edmund hits the ball. The ball breaks the window and also the artifact in the house. The ball breaks the window and is also an artifact in the house. They get scared while hearing the lady's voice. They search for a place to hide. They move into the wardrobe while hiding from her. Its name was Tumnus. Tumnus gets scared while seeing Lucy. Lucy come near and tells it how did she come here. It understands. She is a human. It tells Lucy she is in Narnia and takes her to its home for tea. It tells her there is winter in Narnia for the past 100 years. It plays music while talking. Fire starts dancing on it and Lucy sleeps while seeing it. They move into Narnia from there. They discover Lucy was telling the truth. Peter apologizes to her and Lucy takes them to meet Tumnus. They notice Tumnus's house was ruined and there was a notice as well that Tumnus is arrested because of getting engaged with a human. Lucy's elder sister asks them to leave after hearing this. But Lucy says Tumnus is arrested because of us, so we should help it, but Edmund was against this. They move out and meet a beaver. It returns Lucy her handkerchief. The handkerchief that Lucy has left with Tumnus. It asks her to move with it to talk, because the trees in the forest give a message to the White Witch. Edmund and Susan didn't agree to move. As Peter and Lucy moved, they also moved behind them. Beaver takes to its home and makes them meet with its wife. Beaver them to its wife. It tells them about the Lion King while having dinner. It tells them about the Lion King while having dinner. That it is actually the King of Narnia. It was waiting for them to arrive, so they will get the kingdom from the White Witch. Because maybe it thinks the kids of Adam will sit on the throne while coming to Narnia. The governess of White Witch will be finished. It tells them the Lion King has gathered the army for them. Peter and Susan get scared hearing this. They don't want to be a part of a war. That's why they leave while talking Edmund and Lucy. They discover Edmund has fled the scene while they were conversing. Braver understands that he is going to the White Witch. It takes the other siblings to stop him. In front of them, Edmund goes inside the place of the White Witch. The White Witch wants to end them while calling them inside through Edmund. So her throne will not be taken. Beaver makes them understand only the Lion King helps them to save Edmund. Hearing this, they ask them to take them to the Lion King. Edmund sees the frozen creatures in the Wild Witch's palace. The wolf of White Witch arrives when he was watching the creatures. It takes him to the White Witch. The White Witch becomes furious seeing Edmund alone. Edmund tells her about his other siblings when she becomes furious. They are with Braver and also tell her the location of their house. The White Witch orders her companion to go to Beaver's house with the wolf. The wolf, while obeying the White Witch's order, goes to Beaver's house. As Beaver discovers the wolves are at its home, it comes out from another path while taking the three siblings. They met a fox there. It was the companion of the Lion King. It hides them upside the trees and goes in front of wolves. It says they don't know about humans. The wolves bite it after hearing this. It tells them the humans have gone to the north. As the wolves leave, Beaver and siblings spend a night there. When the White Witch discovers they don't get siblings, she comes inside a cell. She placed Tumnus and Edmund while chaining them. When she asks Edmund about his siblings, he says the Lion King's name. Before Edmund could say anything further, Tumnus stops him. He makes lame excuse of not knowing anything. The White Witch tells Tumnus that Edmund told its secret. Then she sends Tumnus outside with the guard. She asks to prepare her ride. Beaver tells the siblings the path from the frozen river to go to Lion King. It takes them towards it. The White Witch comes out while taking Edmund with her. Edmund's scene while coming outside the White Witch has made Tumnus frozen. The White Witch moves behind his siblings while making him sit with her on the ride. The scene shifts to the siblings who were going to meet the Lion King. They notice a ride on the way that was White Witch. They hide and Beaver goes outside to check and then asks everyone to come out. They met Father Christmas when they came out. It was the sign that the governess of White Witch is removed on siblings' arrival. Father Christmas gives them gifts while telling them all this. He gives Lucy a magical ink. It can heal all the injuries. He gives a dagger and gives Susan a bow and arrow. He also gives her a magical horn. As Ahe will blow the horn, the people will come to her for help. He gives a sword and a shield to Peter. He tells them the winter is about to end. Peter thinks if the winter is about to end, this river will also melt. When he pointed towards the river, it was melting. They immediately try to cross it. Many wolves arrive there and chase them. Meanwhile, the ice melts and the siblings and Beaver flee the wolves. The wolves get stuck in the ice. As the siblings reach the forest, they notice the summer is appearing as the snow is melting. They move to the camp of the Lion King from here. As the White Witch comes to the river, the wolves bring the fox to her. They tell her it is the companion of the Lion King. The White Witch starts behelp. Gee, it when the fox didn't tell her any things. Meanwhile, Edmund tells White Witch everything coming in front. The Lion King is gathering the army and he also tells her its location. The White Witch becomes happy hearing this. She makes the fox frozen in front of Edmund. She hits Edmund and asks him to choose a side. She asks the wolves to collect the army to fight against the Lion King. On the other hand, the siblings go to the Lion King's camp and the creatures hide while seeing them. The Lion King also appears there. It was a huge lion. It asks about Edmund while seeing 3 siblings here. The creatures become furious when Peter tells about Edmund. The siblings defend him and the Lion King promises Peter it will save Edmund. Lucy and Sunsen were playing on the river when they were talking. The wolf arrives with its companion to end them. Susan blows her horn and hearing this, Peter, Lion King, and the creature arrive for her help. The Lion King stops everyone that Peter has to learn something. Hearing this, Peter shows some courage. Peter ends the wolf when the wolf attacks him. The other wolf runs seeing all this. The Lion King asks its creatures to go behind it. So they will discover about Edmund from its location and gives Peter the title of King. The creatures reach Edmund while following the wolf. They release and take Edmund with them. The witch discovers Edmund escaped and Edmund was brought to Lion King. The Lion King forgives his past's mistakes. Everyone becomes normal with Edmund while obeying the Lion King's orders. They have lunch. Peter to his other siblings during lunch he will do the war alone. You have to return home. Hearing this, Edmund says I have seen the witch's power. Because of it, he doesn't want to leave them alone. They agree with him and start preparing for the war. Susan starts practicing her target with bow and arrow. Lucy learns to aim her dagger. Peter and Edmund learn horse riding and fighting. During their practice, Beaver came and told them about the encounter between the White Witch and the Lion King. They stand with the Lion King. The White Witch asks the Lion King to remember some laws. She asks Edmund back from it. The Lion King takes the witch to its tent for talking. After some time, it announces coming out of its tent Edmund will not go with the White Witch. They become happy and the White Witch leaves. Lucy notices the Lion King has returned to the tent being sad. Lucy sees the Lion King was going somewhere at night. She follows the Lion King with Susan. The Lion King discovers this and it moves forward while talking to it. It takes them to a point and asks them to leave while saying bye to them. It moves forward. Susan and Lucy don't obey it. They hide behind. They see the Lion King has gone to the White Witch's army present near the stone table. The White Witch has placed it on the table while trying it. They discover from the White Witch's conversation the Lion King has given its life in return for Edmund's life. The White Witch also wants to end the Lion King. She wants to end everyone, no war. She ends the Lion King in front of everyone while stabbing. Then she takes her army forgetting already were. Lucy and Susan come to the Lion King. Lucy makes it drink its magic water. It was given by Father's Christmas. Susan says it is too late and seeing this, they hug Lion King and start weeping. Some mice arrive and open the Lion King. Susan asks Lucy they have to go back to tell this to everyone. But Lucy doesn't want to go back while leaving the Lion King alone. She asks the trees to convey this message. The leaves and flowers of the trees move to the camp while flying. They give Edmund and Peter this message while turning into humans. As they get the message, Edmund convinces Peter he should lead the army to go to war, because they have none after the Lion King. Agreeing with Edmund, Peter reached the battleground along with the army. There was the White Witch's huge army. As her army moves forward on her order, Peter sends the burst creatures. They end the White Witch's army while throwing rocks. Peter moves forward with other creatures. Susan and Lucy were sleeping with Lion King, but they moved from there, but they noticed the table was cracked. The Lion King has revived. It tells Lucy when she asks according to laws if any innocent victim will be ended, the table will be cracked and the dead victim revives. Susan tells the Lion King that the war has started.It takes them to palace while making them sit on it. It makes the frozen creatures fine while reaching there. It moves to the war while taking them. Peter asks his army to go back while seeing them defeating. A companion of the White Witch makes Peter fall down from the horse when they are leaving. On it, two creatures come to save Peter. They go to end the White Witch. The White Witch ends these creatures. The war again starts here. Peter asks Edmund to return home after searching for his sisters. Beaver was taking Edmund with it. Edmund sees the White Witch was moving to Peter. He returns immediately and breaks the freezing instrument of the White Witch. The White Witch attacks Edmund. Meanwhile, Peter comes to fight with the White Witch while running. There was a heavy fight between the White Witch and Peter. During this, the Lion King also arrived with the army. The White Witch again starts the fight with Peter. Peter falls there being injured and the White Witch was about to end Peter. Meanwhile, the Lion King attacks and ends her. Later, Lucy Parks Edmund drinks the magical water. He heals these magical drinks. Lucy gives these magical drinks to others. The Lion King recovers the frozen creatures. After the war, the Lion King makes all the siblings the kings and queens of the palace. It leaves. Lucy weeps, but Tumnus consoles her that it will be back soon. Thanks for watching.